students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. So, yesterday in previous lecture we have discussed about forward biasing. Now today we will discuss reverse biasing. So, in forward biasing we have seen that when p type is connected to positive terminal and n type it is connected to negative terminal, that is called forward biasing. Now in reverse biasing what happened? Opposite thing will be there. Okay. P side is connected to negative terminal of the battery and N side is connected to positive terminal of the battery. Okay. So this time what happened? Because in P side majority charge carriers are holes which are positive. Okay. So that holes will be attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery. Okay, so whatever holes are present here in p type, they will be attracted by the negative terminal and holes will start moving towards this negative terminal of battery. That means holes will move away from the junction. Okay, similarly in n type what happened? Here electrons are present, that electrons will be attracted by the positive terminal of the battery. So they will start moving towards positive terminal. That means the electrons will move away from the junction. Okay. So holes in p side as well as electrons in n side, they both will move away from the junction. Okay. So here what happened? Because they are moving away from the junction, so the width of depletion layer that will increase. In case of forward biasing, what was happening there? Electrons and holes, majority charge carriers, they were moving towards junction and that's why the width of depletion layer decreased. Okay, that get decreased. But here in this case what is happening? Holes and electrons, they are moving away from the junction. So that's why the width of the depletion layer will increase here. Okay. So here no current will flow because of the majority charge carriers. Okay, but at p side a little bit electrons are there, minority charge carriers. Similarly at n side minority charge carriers are holes. Okay, so from p side the minority carriers electron that will move towards junction, and from n side minority carriers holes, they will also move towards junction. So because of them a very less current will flow in this circuit. Okay, so in reverse biasing also current is there, but that current is not because majority charge carriers. Okay, in forward biasing the current was there because of majority charge carriers, but in reverse biasing the current will be there because of minority charge carriers. And as the name only suggests, minority charge carriers are very less in number, so that's why here very less current will flow here. Okay, very feeble current will flow here. So now let's see the definition, what is written here for reverse biasing. A junction diode is said to be reverse biased when its p side is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and the n side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. And here one important line you can read: in this biasing the applied voltage V supports the potential barrier V naught. Potential barrier is the potential because of depletion layer. Okay, so here whatever voltage we will apply, because of that the majority charge carriers move away from the junction and the width of depletion layer increases. So that means potential barrier also increases. So here we can say that whatever voltage we are applying, that is supporting the potential barrier across the junction, and as a result the width of the depletion layer and the potential barrier also increases, which I have explained you. Okay, and here again you see this blue line, this movement of minority charge carriers across the junction in reverse biased junction diode constitutes drift current. So that also I have told you that in p side and n side minority charge carriers are there, and because of that very feeble current flows in the circuit, and that current is called drift current. Then you can read one important line here. A junction diode allows current to pass only when it is forward biased. The feature of a junction diode enables it to function as a valve. Valve means a device to allow unidirectional flow. Okay, so we have seen that when the forward biasing was there, so that time we were getting sufficient amount of current because of majority charge carriers. But in reverse biasing, majority charge carriers were moving away from each other, away from the junction, so that's why no current flow because of majority charge carriers, and whatever current we get, that is because of minority charge carriers, and that is very less current. Okay, so that's why we can say that whatever current is flowing in a junction diode, that is there only in forward bias. Now let's discuss characteristics of a PN junction diode. So first of all, we will discuss about forward bias characteristic. Okay, so here is one circuit diagram. Okay, so here in this circuit diagram we can see this is PN junction diode. P side is connected to positive, N side is connected to negative. Okay, we have already seen the symbol of PN junction diode is this one, and this triangle side is P type, which is connected to positive terminal, and this vertical line is N type, which is connected to negative terminal. Then we also can see that one voltmeter is connected here and one milliammeter is also connected here. Okay, because in case of forward biasing, sufficient amount of current is there, but in case of reverse biasing, in this second figure you can see this is the reverse biasing. P side is connected to negative terminal, N side is connected to positive terminal, so it is reverse biasing here. Okay, so here in case of reverse biasing, you can see mu ampere is connected here. Okay, microammeter, because in case of reverse biasing a very feeble current will flow, so that we will measure in microampere. Okay, in a less quantity current is flowing, that's why we are using another unit here. And here you can see one graph, this one. Okay, on x-axis we have taken voltage, in y-axis we have taken current. Here on the right hand side we have forward voltage. In forward biasing the voltage is called forward voltage, in reverse biasing it will be reverse voltage. Okay, so here in forward voltage you can see initially no current is flowing. Here we are getting this curve, you can see. Okay, so this side of this graph is showing forward biasing, and this side of the graph is showing us the reverse biasing. Okay, and here we can see that initially no current is flowing here because initially depletion layer is there, but when we apply sufficient amount of current, okay, so as we increase sufficient amount of voltage, so as we increase the voltage, we can see for a particular value of voltage the current will increase abruptly. Okay, the current becomes very high. Similarly, in reverse biasing we can see initially the current is increasing very slowly. Okay, but after a certain value of voltage the current is abruptly increasing. Abruptly means suddenly it is increasing so much. So this is the characteristic graph, characteristic curve for PN junction diode in forward and reverse biasing. And in these curve, one thing you can notice that here in forward biasing, after a particular voltage the current is increasing very abruptly. Okay, very high current we are getting. So this amount of voltage after which the current increases very high is called the knee voltage. K N E, knee voltage. Okay, and here in the reverse biasing also you can see that initially current is increasing very what we can say, very less current is there, but suddenly after a certain voltage the current is increasing very fast. Okay, abrupt increase is there. So this voltage at which a sudden increase in there in current, this voltage is called breakdown voltage. Okay, so here what happened, in reverse biasing, the width of depletion layer is increasing, but at this voltage that depletion layer breaks. That's why it is called breakdown voltage, and that breakdown is there because of two reasons, and because of that two reasons the name is given avalanche breakdown or Zener breakdown. Okay, so that two type of breakdowns are also there. Now let's see what is dynamic resistance of junction diode. So junction diode characteristics indicate that the current is not proportional to the voltage applied across the junction. Hence, junction diode is a non-ohmic conductor. In junction diode, we have seen the characteristic curves. That curves were not linear with the voltage. Okay, that means the current was not linear with the voltage, but we were getting a curve, and initially the current was increasing very slowly, but after a certain voltage it was increasing abruptly. So the behavior of current is not uniform with voltage. Okay, so that means we can say that junction diode is a non-ohmic conductor. Okay, the dynamic resistance, dynamic means which is changing here, because the current is not proportional to voltage. So that means we can say that the resistance is also not constant here. Okay, initially the current was increasing very slowly, that means there the current resistance is high, but after a particular voltage the current was increasing very fast, that means there the resistance decreases. Initially the resistance was high, but then the resistance decreases, and that's why only the current increases there. So resistance is not constant there, but it is dynamic. Okay, so the dynamic resistance or the AC resistance of a junction diode is defined as the ratio of the small change in the applied voltage to the corresponding change in the current flowing through the junction. So dynamic resistance RD is represented here by del V upon del I. Del V is change in voltage and del I is change in current. Similarly, the static resistance, okay, static resistance or DC resistance is V upon I simply, as it is defined as the ratio of the voltage applied across the junction to the corresponding current that flows through the junction. Now let us discuss the use of junction diode as a rectifier. So I want you all to understand this topic of rectifier together. Okay, actually we are having two types of rectifiers, half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. So I want you to understand that topic together. So in next lecture together I will explain you both the types of rectifiers. Okay, so for today you only understand what is its definition, what is the work of a rectifier. Rectification is the process of converting alternating voltage into DC voltage. Okay, that process is called rectification. So the device which does this process, that means a device which converts an alternating voltage into direct voltage, is called a rectifier. Okay, so rectifier is a device which converts okay, alternating current, not AC, convert alternating current to direct current, alternating voltage to direct voltage. Okay, so junction diode, how we are using it in as rectifier, that we will discuss tomorrow. So this is it for today's lecture. See you all in next lecture. Till then, goodbye. Take care, do some productive work, and the most important thing, be healthy, be safe.